Welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam on a rainy Monday. So I tweeted out a schedule this week. I said I was going to see Rocket Man today, Men in Black International on Friday, or Thursday, I was going to see it. And then something happened on my way to the movies today that I can only define as a sign from God. Now, this is the first time this has happened. This happened when I was debating whether or not to see Power Rangers, and at the time I didn't have AMC A-List. That didn't exist. Movie Pass did exist, but it was too expensive. So seeing movies was something that, I had to, pick and choose what I was going to see. And at the time, Power Rangers was not a movie that I was interested in seeing. It was, it was going to be okay. What new ground could I possibly tread from redoing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? So I was like, let me skip that. And then I was on my way home from work one day, and there's a channel on Sirius XM 90s on 9. I was flipping through, and they were playing the extended version of the Power Rangers theme song. And I was like, this must be a sign from God. I gotta see this movie. And the movie was okay. Then today I was on my way to work. Not on my way to work, on my way to the movies. And I'm flipping through Sirius radio, and A Whole New World comes on. And much like the last time I saw a movie with Naomi Scott in it, I felt the need to change my plans, and this must be a divine sign. So, I saw Aladdin today instead of Rocket Man. Now, I had minimal expectations for this movie, because here's my problem when I watch a movie that I've already seen, especially if I'm watching a movie that I've already seen, and it's a remake of a movie I've already seen. Because Aladdin's a movie that when I was a kid I watched a lot. It's one of my three favorite Disney movies, excluding Pixar and other things. It's in the top three. It's Aladdin, it's Hercules, and it's Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is definitely in the top three of that. So I've seen this movie a lot. I'm very familiar with what happens in it. And then I'm watching the movie, I'm trying to remember what happens in the movie that I saw originally, and I can't remember for the life of me what Aladdin's second wish was in the movies. Unless they counted, the first wish was to escape the cave, then the second wish was to become a prince, and then the third wish is to free the genie. I don't remember. In this, they make it where his first wish is to become a prince, his second wish is to save his own life, and then his third wish is to free the genie. Let's see, what did I like about this movie? A lot of good choreography for the dance. All of the music from the original is in here. Nothing is omitted for the sake of time. I like the cast. The cast is really good. I'm not the only singing performance I wasn't too happy about. Not happy about. That's the wrong word. Not crazy about was the guy who played Aladdin. I'm not sure if he was dubbed over, because a lot of times he's singing, they kind of show him from a distance, because I don't know if they dubbed over him because he can't sing. The only song I think they cut was Jafar's refrain of Prince Ali. That's the only one they cut, which is, again, probably because the guy who played Jafar probably couldn't sing. One of the things I thought was really cool at the end of the movie, and this is going to be just a weird, not even something that's major that happens within the movie, is at the very end, they do a Broadway-style ending, where everyone where it's it's a big thing where all the cast is there and they're all dancing, and it felt like, when I saw Peter Pan, at Madison Square Garden, it felt like, I think that's where I saw it. I think I saw it at the Garden. Where it's, what's it called? Where, everyone kind of comes up, even the bad guy, and, everyone's kind of there. It felt really cool and very unique for a movie-going experience. I was on the fence originally about the casting of Will Smith as the genie, because Robin Williams has such a larger-than-life performance, to the point where when you watch the movie, all the animations that they put into the genie and all of that are because of they let Robin Williams riff on what he was doing, and then they would add it, and then they would animate to what he was doing in his dialogue and what noises he was making. So I was concerned that Will Smith wouldn't be able to do that same caliber performance, but he really nailed it. He really knocked it out of the park. Now, narratively, there's only one thing that I don't necessarily like 100%, and maybe it's the fact that because of when I grew up, I'm very familiar with the two sequels to Aladdin. I'm very familiar with, it's both Return of Jafar and King of Thieves. Both of those would have been interesting to see redone in this way. That said, it seems like they're not going to, because they made what's it called? They made the genie human at the end instead of just taking away his power, taking away his bind to the lamp. I also like. I also am not. I think my other problem with the movie is that in the original, it's Aladdin who's the one who figures out that he can trick Jafar by using his own ego against him, and he figures out I can make Jafar wish himself into the lamp, by baiting him into it. It doesn't seem like when you watch the movie, it looks like the genie's the one who figures that out, and the genie tells Aladdin to do it, just like kind of like signals to him to do it. I think it's more of like it takes away something when the genie's the one who solves the problem, not Aladdin. I do like the change. There's a lot of griping on the internet I saw about the changes where, what's it called? Where they made they made Jasmine the Sultan in the end. It makes sense because it's like, why? I'm thinking about this from an international relations standpoint. Why would you want to have someone from another country come in and suddenly take over instead of just having the person who knows it already and who's lived there all their life? Just because she's a woman. I like the change. And I do hope that they do, the subsequent movies. I hope they do Return of Jafar. I hope they do King of Thieves, because both of those are really solid. They were direct to VHS movies, but they were solid in terms of the story, and it'd be interesting to see those adapted too, especially with this cast, because the cast has really great chemistry with each other, and that's something else that really works for this movie, is that everyone in their relationships with each other, they sell it. Nothing takes you out of it. Another negative about the movie though is the effects that I'm a little all over the place with this, because it's like I really like the movie. It was really good, but again, it's a lot of I've seen Aladdin before, and the cast is good and everything's good, but again, Aladdin had in 1992 when it came out, I believe. 92, 90, 94, maybe 93, something like that. When it came out, they really used all they could do with 2D animation to really make it pop, and that was something that really defined the later part of the 90s style of Disney, even going into the early 2000s with Tarzan and things like that. It was 2D animation, but they still used a lot of newer concepts that really made it look really cool, pseudo 3D. Again, Tarzan has that when he's on the vines. Hunchback of Notre Dame has that. The lava in Aladdin looks kind of 3D, and because it's all hand drawn and it's all like that, you don't have to worry about lighting as much, and you don't have to worry about other things like that. So a lot of the vibrancy is lost in the movie. But again, that's not the movie's fault. That's just the peril of what comes with 3D, with a live-action remake. And what's probably going to end up happening with The Lion King. Because I'm thinking about The Lion King in, the sequences at, the Oasis area where Timon and Pumbaa and Simba all live, while he's going back to kill his uncle. That's Hamlet. During that whole thing, it's very vibrant and very bright, and it's going to take a lot of external effects to bring that up in that scene, in that movie. But they don't quite do it here in the same way. So we're going to wrap this up here for now. If you have not seen Aladdin yet, I would definitely recommend you see it. It is very good. It is very worth your time. I went into it with minimal expectations, but it was definitely worth seeing in theaters. I'm definitely going to pick it up on DVD when it comes out. So we'll wrap up there for today. Our next movie is Men in Black International, and then probably Shaft at some point next week as well. And if I can see The Last Black Man in San Francisco, that's definitely on my list. And then this summer, I saw a trailer in this one that looked really interesting. Blinded by the Light. It's a what's it called? It's like a jukebox musical kinda. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like Sing Street because they're not really singing, but it's not really a jukebox musical where it's not like Mamma Mia or something. It's just a movie that very heavily leans into using the entire discography of Bruce Springsteen, and I'm very looking forward to that. So that won't be till August though when that comes out. So we'll wrap up there. It kind of seems like it's like a bio. It's kind of like how they do Rocket Man, or how they do Straight Outta Compton, or how they do any of these musical biopics, but without it being about the musicians, about some other guy who's heavily influenced by the music, and that looks really interesting. So we'll be back Friday with Men in Black International. Thursday with Men in Black International, and we'll be back then. Have a great rest of your week.